Hello and welcome back to another episode of Stat Chat Sports, a brand new podcast where I talk all things sports. I'm your host, Johnny Petronas. Thank you so much for joining us today. And we have a very special and current episode today where I'm going to be giving my predictions of the 2024 Olympic Basketball Tournament. So, it's starting very soon. As of today, it starts tomorrow. I'm recording this on August 5th. And it starts tomorrow, so it's going to be a great day, great starting day for the quarterfinals, and we're just going to go all over it today, so let's get right into it. Alrighty, so once again, with the 2024 Olympic quarterfinals set for basketball, I'm going to be making my predictions for which country will secure the gold. So the first matchup that we're going to be talking about is Germany versus Greece. And I just feel that Germany has way too much power compared to Giannis. Here are some of the players. And I just don't think it'll be a very good matchup. Look at some of the players on Germany. So, I just feel like that Giannis will not be enough to stop all of those players. You got Franz Wagner, Mo Wagner, Daniel Theis. Lots of NBA talent on Germany that I just feel like will be too much for Giannis. And don't get me wrong, Giannis is arguably the best player in the Olympics, averaging like 27 or 30 points a game. But I still don't think that it'll be enough to stop all the star power on Germany and not star power necessarily, but I would say NBA talent. So, with that said, give me Germany over Greece. The next matchup we're going to be talking about is France versus Canada. Now, this is a great matchup right here, in my opinion. You have NBA talent on both teams. Pesky defenders on both teams, I guess you could say. Obviously, France has Wembanyama and Rudy Gobert. Canada with Jamal Murray, RJ Barrett, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Lou Dort, Dylan Brooks, all of this amazing NBA talent. And this is definitely the best game in the quarterfinals, obviously, with RJ Barrett averaging 21 points a game on 59.5% shooting. 59.5% shooting from the field to go, with 4 rebounds and 3.7 assists per game. So, you would not think that RJ Barrett is the leading star on Canada. With Shai and Jamal Murray in the lineup, you would not think that RJ Barrett is, I guess you could say, like the top dog and stuffing the stat sheets, but, he's definitely been lighting it up for sure. And then you have Victor Wembanyama averaging 17 points, 10.7 rebounds, and 2.7 blocks a game. 2 blocks a game. So, this is definitely, like I said, the best matchup in the quarterfinals. 2 very star-studded teams, no doubt, but I will say, although Wemby and Rudy Gobert is literally rim-protecting paradise, you can't get better than that. You got Rudy Gobert just won Defensive Player of the Year. Wemby's going to be a Defensive Player of the Year soon. So, you have 2 7-footers, which is the best rim protecting that you can ask for in an Olympic team. But with that said, I'm still taking Canada. So give me the star-studded Canada team over France. Shout out Air Canada. The next matchup we're going to be going over is Serbia versus Australia. And I just feel like with Nikola Jokic already making history, becoming the first player to ever combine for 10 or more points, 15 rebounds, and 5 or more assists ever in Olympic history. Nobody else has ever done that, which was pretty shocking to me. I did not know that he was the first person to ever do that, but he is. And I also, I feel that he will be very hard to stop and will piece Australia apart and take the game for his country. And another thing that I feel like no one is talking about that they should be talking about, Bogdan Bogdanovic had one of the best games of the entire summer against South Sudan a few days ago, scoring 30 points on 10 of 14 shooting, including an insane 6 for 9 from 3. And this guy is a role player in the NBA. He's not getting the minutes that some of the players on Canada and Team USA are getting, and he has a 30-point game. Obviously, with Serbia, you have a lot more, players that have to do, Jokic and Bogdanovic have to do a lot because they're the 2 star players. Team USA, you have all these star players that can do all these amazing things. So, obviously, the ball is in Bogdanovic's hand a lot more than some of the players on Team USA and those other countries. But I just think that's absolutely amazing that a role player like him could score 30 points with 6 threes. So, with that said, give me Serbia over Australia. Next up, we have probably the worst matchup in the quarterfinals. We have USA versus Brazil. And I feel like Brazil even making it to this stage is a shock to me. If someone told you that Brazil, I can't even name a single player on Brazil, but I just feel like it was a fluke that they got this far in the Olympics. I feel like there's plenty of other countries that should have made it over them. But, I said this in my episode about Team USA, and I'll say it again. No one is beating the Lavengers. Give me USA over Brazil. Moving on to the semifinals, we have Germany versus Canada. This is definitely going to be a great matchup here. Both teams have lots of NBA talent on their team, but I think I have to go with the team with the better NBA talent, and especially the better players. You have Germany with Mo, Franz Wagner, Daniel Tice, Dennis Schroeder, and then you have Canada with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Jamal Murray, Lou Dort, Dylan Brooks, and RJ Barrett too. But I just feel like you have so much more scoring on this side on Canada. You have so much better players. On Canada, on Germany, you don't even have a single secured all-star. Someone you can call an all-star and no one will disagree with you. Meanwhile, on Canada, you can call Shai an all-star. He was an MVP candidate last year. So, you can call Jamal Murray an all-star. I think he's one of the best players ever to not get an all-star. And you even have Lou Dort, Dylan Brooks, and RJ Barrett. And RJ Barrett is in my opinion, he was a big piece to Toronto's late success in the season. I just feel like he brought a lot to Toronto, and they needed a lot of it with Pascal Siakam leaving. But I just feel like Canada has a lot more talent. Canada has the better overall players, and besides Dylan Brooks, they're very unselfish. But I just feel like they have the better players, like I said, and just I don't think Germany has enough star talent to stand with Canada. So with that said, give me Canada over Germany. The next matchup we have is Serbia versus USA, and we've already seen this matchup in the Olympics, and to be honest, I don't think it'll be much different from the first time these two countries played. However, in addition, with 95.7 points per game, Serbia is second in the scoring in the entire Olympics. But the country they're behind is Team USA. So give me USA easily taking down Serbia. Moving on to the bronze medal game. I'm going to save the best for last. We have Germany versus Serbia. Now, this is just the two teams that could not secure the gold, that could not make it there. But, I feel like the depth in Germany's squad will be the deciding factor to push them over the top. You have Nikola Jokic and Bogdanovic, and then you have Dennis Schroeder, Franz Wagner, Mo Wagner, and Daniel Tice. So I just feel like you have more talent on this side. Don't get me wrong, Jokic is the best player in the NBA, and no questions asked. But I just feel like he won't be a big enough piece to take down Germany. So with that said, give me Germany securing the bronze over Serbia. And finally, the best for last, the game that we all saw coming for the gold medal game, USA versus Canada. This was obviously the gold medal match that we all saw coming. Two NBA star-studded lineups, and fun fact, the two biggest countries in producing NBA players. You can honestly tell that with how many NBA players are on both teams. USA doesn't have a single player not in the NBA, and Canada has half of their lineup coming from the NBA. So, definitely pretty much like an NBA All-Star game. But so for me, though, don't get me wrong, both teams have amazing NBA players. Both have star-studded rosters, especially starting lineups. But for me, it just comes down to statistics in the matchup. The Canadians have more NBA talent than any other team outside of the United States. And, they're led by Shai. Other players like Dylan Brooks, Jamal Murray, Lou Dort, and RJ Barrett, giving the team plenty of scoring pop. But with that said, you got me all wrong. all wrong if you think that I'm picking against LeBron James and the Lavengers. So give me Team USA taking down Canada and taking home the gold. That's all we have for today's episode. Once again, if you enjoyed this episode and any other ones that you've listened to, be sure to like and subscribe and follow us on Instagram and Podbean for more. If you haven't seen any of the first episodes, the history of Florida State football, the U.S. Olympic team thoughts, and the NBA Finals predictions with a good friend of mine, be sure to check those out as well. Thank you so much for joining us on our journey through the world of sports, and stay tuned for more episodes. But until then, I'm Johnny Petronas, and thank you for listening to this episode of Stat Chat Sports.